Hey guys, long time no see. As always, this is PJ. I'm a game designer, and today we're gonna react to the trailer to Wayward Realms. This game caught my attention because it is an RPG and it's trying to do something different, something new. Although they are made for the same from the same developers, the same directors from one of the oldest RPGs franchises and one of the most popular ones, the Elder Scrolls. I think everybody knows about the Elder Scrolls. And two developers from Elder Scrolls Arena and Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, if I'm not mistaken. They are the ones directing the project to this game. And this is an old project. This is a project that was announced on Kickstarter by about 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna react to a gameplay trailer that was around for 7 months. So it is quite old, but since there was reviews and videos speaking about this game from very early, like 2 days ago, a day ago, I decided to give it a look. And I saw a really quick review, just a part of it, where they talked about the idea for the game and how it is going to be fully RPG in the sense that you don't have a main story. So that got me really intrigued, and I stopped looking of what I was seeing at the time and decided I need to do a video about this. I also want to say that I am really glad that I finally found the time to do this. I was missing this, doing this. I was really enjoying, and I got a lot of stuff in my life. A lot of things changed. So, but finally, I managed to do this. So I'm really happy to be back and give you guys this analysis. By the way, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, if you like my analysis and the way that I produce these videos, don't forget to give it a like and a subscribe to this channel. It helps a lot in my position right now, so I'm trying to grow and make new stuff and optimize stuff and interesting stuff for you guys. So yeah, if you wanna support the channel, this will be really helpful. Yeah, without further ado, let's start the analysis. Once lost games.
Welcome to the archipelago, a landmass of over 100 islands, steeped in political intrigue, forgotten magic, and a multitude of adventures to be had. Ours begins on Ijar, a remote island in the northeast.
I like the rain.
We have come to the town of Melhelm at the behest of Lady Ravensworth, stepmother to the local baron, in search of information. Rumors have been circulating of strange occurrences around the tomb of Lord Godsend, a former rival to the baron who met his end at our own hands. We were sent to seek out Niles, an informant for the Order of St. Latra. But it seems the door is locked. There must be another way in.
Oh, we got climbing. In first person. Okay.
Not the friendly sort. Maybe he just needs a little convincing.
Huh. Interesting.
Excellent. We have the information we need. Now let's be on our way. We have our goal, but there will be some obstacles in the way. It is up to us how we wish to achieve it. Combat.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. Whoa.
Stealth.
The classic stealthy archer from the Elder Scrolls.
Magic.
Can you use magic with a torch? There's some kind of slow-mo action.
Or using our wits and knowledge.
Wow, this vibes Skyrim a
Of
lot.
course. Sometimes that might not be enough.
Wayward Realms.
I'm sorry. You say you would rather just spend your time fishing?
Okay. Right. Alright, let me begin by telling that this is clearly an indie game being developed, okay? Although they are specialists and they are experts in what they do because they have done this formula quite a lot. The studio is rather small, and you can see by the whole scope of this trailer. The trailer lacks some kind of finesse to the finishing touches, and I don't mean to disrespect what they have done. They have done here. The whole presentation is beautiful. I like the graphics, and I like how the models have been shown. It just lacks some kind of polishing to the end, and this can be achieved by a bigger crew where they have more time and more hands involved in the project to do all this kind of marketing and material, for the publishing. But this is not bad at all, don't get me wrong. And also they make this very clear too when they say this is pre-alpha. They are trying stuff still. And then in this point, we start to hear and listen to the narrator, which is an interesting point to do in this trailer. Since this is an RPG and they're trying to do a massive world with no main story, uh, they opted to use a narrator to give us some information about the world and what we are expecting to do in this game. And of course, this is a way to convey the message and to immerse us in what we are seeing in this trailer. And in particular, in my opinion, I don't think it worked too well. I still felt a bit, lost in, even though they said what was going on. But I think the reason why they selected a narrator here was to make us expect what is going to happen in the game, because I believe that they are going to do narration in game as well. I heard some information, might be wrong, but I heard some information about they trying to bring like a game master or the figure or of the game master, and since there is no main story, the game master is going to be very fluid, and react to what is happening. This is what I heard. I I don't know for sure this is the real case, but I think in this trailer it is to convey this idea that you are taking part in an RPG session, a tabletop RPG session, and you have your game master describing what is happening, and then you control your character and you do the action, and the narrator is describing the world around, reacting to your actions. This is what I believe is the point why they decided to bring a narrator to uh, show us the world and what we are seeing in this trailer. Also, in the trailer, they said it was over 100 islands. the archipelago, and I heard the game is also going to be procedurally generated. So maybe we're going to, in fact, play in all of those 100 islands, and they are going to be fully randomized. I don't know the scope of this game, but if this is the thing, this could be really interesting to trying to see something so new, like a completely new main story being done to each game. Every game is going to be completely different. This is really cool and a new concept for sure. I want to take a look at in this scene in particular because this is really, of course, it is beautiful, but it shows us some promise to what we're going to see in the details in the environment of the game. We see a lot of things positioned here in this village, and the way that the houses are organized, this seems very patterned. You know, it is very structured and very well distributed. So I believe this is random generation. You know, it is following a set of patterns in coding. You know, doesn't feel like it is very organic the way that it is built. But this is not a complaint. I just think that this reinforces the idea that the whole game is going to be uh, procedurally generated. And even though this is a new game and we can compare to Skyrim, which is the one that I'm focusing the most in this comparison, you can see the amount of detail we have, especially in this path. Look at this. You can see a lot of things in this scene. And if you compare to what we saw in Skyrim, even with mods, even when you put a lot of mods to add more structures, to add more textures, and to add more wildlife and all that, it seems pretty similar. You know, it is pretty similar. Even though Skyrim is also a node game to nowadays standard, you know, but I still think that this has its charm. You know, I think the idea is to bring the Elder Scrolls charm, and I think it is fulfilling this. I think it is doing its job okay. I want to point out something I just realized in this scene in particular. You see, this is a statue, and then the main character is going to grab the sword. And look at this detail. Look the way that they use the sword. They grab the sword, swing it to one side, and then look at this. It looks like the weapon is resting in its left hand, and might look like a small detail, but what this says to me, it is either your character is a left-handed character, which is really unusual to see in games, but not impossible, or in this game, you might have the option to equip your weapon in either the left hand or the right hand. And I don't remember if you can do this in Skyrim. I think you can, but either way, being able to do this, it shows that you can expect a bit of customization, a more broader, you know, customization to your character playstyle. And now we get to this part where they portray to us the climbing mechanic. You know, you have climbing in this game, different from Skyrim and any other Elder Scrolls that I can remember, that I can recall. So, and it is interesting the way that they are doing here. Since this is an Elder Scrolls inspired game, you see a lot of interactions that are done by opening a menu or by selecting with the action button. But in this action, you can see that it doesn't pull up any prompt. You know, you're not expected to, you know, oh, when you are closer to a wall or when you are closer to those types of vines here, you press the action button and then you climb. It doesn't show here. You just get close and start to climb, which means to me that this is an action. You know, you have a specific button or a specific configuration in the controller or in the keyboard, where you press one button and then you start to climb. So this is really interesting, and it might imply that you can expect to do this a lot. This could be a main mechanic you could call. It is a mechanic that you can use a lot, and you might expect to use to finish the game. Maybe there are some obstacles or some sequences of the game where you need to climb. And since the game is procedurally generated, this might mean a lot. Where in the even in the basic generation of the game, it is expected for you to climb a lot. So you see, just from this small detail, it tells a lot. This is why I like analyzing the trailers, because to a trained eye, you can kind of understand what is happening here. And then we finally got to the combat part. And this is a very interesting look to what is going to happen in the combat. Because although I really think that the combat in Skyrim is very dated, it is it is just old. In my opinion, it is just really, really old. But they decided to keep that because they want to bring the vibe of the Elder Scrolls. So I think that this is a very nostalgic. You can see how the character moves, and you can just take a step back to avoid the hit, just like Skyrim, and avoid the attack, and then you bring your weapon and attack. But they are bringing the physics to bring something different from the Elder Scrolls formula. So the way that you hit your opponent and the way that you block the attack, you see how the animation stops. Where you hit, the character reacts. So an attack closer to the neck makes your opponent react to the sword in the neck, and then hits the head. And now ragdolls are back. They just turn on the ragdolls, and your opponent is just stuck to your sword. It drops down. And then we see this. The character is going to do a fire spell, or looks like a fire spell, and he's using a torch. So it is unclear if this is just a magic done with the left hand, and maybe you equipped the fireball spell, whatever this is, your left hand, and you also can use a torch. So you do the magic and you by chance have a torch there, or if it is required for you to have a torch in your hand to do fire spells. This part also went completely by when I watched the trailer the first time, and now looking at this, I was thinking, wow, if this is done also randomly, if this is something that is there just to complete the story and give more lore, but it is also completely random, following the story that is going to be random with each generation of the game. And this is done maybe by AI or something like that. This is a really cool alternative to seeing AI being used in games. And I hope that they are doing a good job here, because using AI can be done very lazily, but with the right, you know the right professional behind, doing, adjusting, and doing the making everything feel right. This can be a huge step to making stories being told in games. So I think this has potential. This has a lot of potential, and I hope we can see if this is being applied in this manner or not in this game. So that's it, guys. This is my analysis from the Wayward Realms. I really hope that they are bringing something more for us to react, because I really like the idea behind this concept and this project. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It is really good to be back, and I'll see you in the next one.